Welcome to Cash Alternative TV Live, right here on CATV. I'm your host, Christopher Carruthers, also known as Tao of Satoshi. If it's your first time on this channel, I'm broadcasting now live to not only to YouTube, but also to Facebook Live, Twitter, D Live, and Twitch. So happy to see you guys on this channel. I'm very happy to grow my usership, my viewership, and I'm glad you guys could make it here today. So I got James Doe in the chat. Very nice to see you guys. I haven't done a live stream with an audience for a long time. The last time I did a live stream was last week. But being me, I'm not really very familiar with using this stuff. So I actually forgot to put it on public. It was on private. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, I'm so happy you guys are here. If you guys are interested, that this is Cash Alternative TV. It's a show about cryptocurrency, but has a focus on Dash, which aims to be a digital cash for the world, an alternative to cash. And if that's something that you're interested in, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Switch and DLive, and give me a friend on Facebook as well, and follow and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. So quite happy you guys are here. I have a lot to talk about today, so we're going to talk about crypto news, and we're going to talk about Dash news. So first of all, before I get into that, I just want to talk about some things that I did in crypto. I'm 99% involved in Dash, but I took a little side investment into something called Hex. And it looks like it's doing pretty well. I'm not sure if it has a future, but it looks like it's doing pretty well. And I want to know your guys' comments about Hex. Leave it down in the description below. Leave it down in the comments so I can check it out. Happy you guys are here again. What do you think about the Bitcoin halving? That's coming up soon. That's under crypto news. So what do you think about the Bitcoin halving? It looked like it was going up to around 10K, and then it just kind of dropped to around 96. So I don't know what to make of it. The Bitcoin maximalists think that it's going to take it to the next level, but from what I've seen so far, it doesn't look to be happening. So hey, Doug209, I'm glad you're in the chat. It looks like Gopi Tadibona. I've never seen you before. Welcome to the chat. Happy you're here. Doug209 talks about Chainlink. I'm not sure about Chainlink, but I'll definitely take a look at it for future live streams. So we're going to go right now. We're going to go over the Cash Alternative TV video lineup. I haven't done a lot last week. If you're interested in alternative sites, I did a YouTube interview with Jeff Kardakis of Uptrend. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that channel, but it's Uptrend. And that's quite an interesting place. You can earn cryptocurrency just for posting or for commenting on other people's posts. So it's a good introduction for people that are either content creators or like to enjoy content. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Next week, I'm going to be talking to probably a guy it's called Discussion.app. And he's starting up a new one too. So if you're interested in that, his name is Jacques. So I'm going to be talking to him. He hasn't gotten back to me on email yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll be by next week. So that'll be cool. And I'm also going to be talking about AnchorPay's recent integration into Dash. So we got two powerful networks here in sub-Saharan Africa. I'm going to be talking about it briefly on this show, but I'm also going to be doing a dedicated show to it. Dash is a very good payment network, and AnchorPay has a very good series of ATMs in sub-Saharan Africa and South Africa. So that'll be an interesting one to look forward to. So now we're going to go into the crypto news recap. There was a lot of stuff that went on in cryptocurrency, that's for sure. And because of the halving and also because of people talking about the future of cryptocurrency. So I'm quite happy to show that to you guys. Just going to remember to show you the internet, because I have a habit of not showing you the internet while I'm talking. So let's get into it. The first one is Vitalik Buterin. He's talking about how Ethereum will help heal the world. So I'm a Dasher. I'm into Dash, but I also like to see the viewpoint of other cryptocurrencies. And Ethereum is definitely one of those cryptocurrencies that we're looking at. So everything that I'm going through, all these links are going to be down below if you want to check it out. I'm just going to briefly touch on each one. So in brief, he's saying, speaking at the Ethereal Summit, Vitalik Buterin discussed cryptocurrency's role in the post-coronavirus world. The crypto pioneer suggested Ethereum could be the glue that holds a fractured global society together. But he pointed out the difference between the current crisis and the one that spurred the creation of Bitcoin in 2008. So he says that Ethereum could be the glue that holds a fractured world together in the fallout from COVID-19. So I hope everybody who's watching this is safe from COVID-19. It's a scourge that's going around the world, and whether or not you agree with what's going on or not, you have to admit that some people are really suffering from this virus. So it says the last big financial crisis is what gave way to the creation of Bitcoin and crypto believers. And I joined in 2013, so I missed that boat right by the the great financial crisis of 2008. But in the run up after that, there's a lot of people that got involved in cryptocurrency. So he says, I think there's some similarities between 2008 and what we're going through now. 2008 was entirely a financial crisis, and 2020 is not really a financial crisis. And foremost, it's a virus crisis, and on top of that, it's a political crisis. And there are definitely financial elements. There's a lot of money printing, but the financial side is definitely not the heart of the story. So yeah, he goes on to say down here, he said, when pushed on whether he thought the current wave of quantitative easing and big tech censorship would actually draw more people towards cryptocurrency, Buterin agreed that those elements have some influence, but emphasized the financial difference between now and 12 years ago. And he says we're seeing some of the same themes as 2008, somewhat less financially. So he's saying, when asked directly if he thought Ethereum could be the network, which I disagree with, obviously, that connects all of these disparate elements across the globe, Buterin nodded, I think so. So, he's the leader of Ethereum. He's got faith in his currency. That's good. So the next item there is OKEx, executive, digital currency as the basis of post-crisis world order. So it's something similar to what Vitalik was saying about Ethereum, but this one is basically saying about more of like a general cryptocurrency will be like a financial network for the future, So right now we have the U.S. dollar, Great Britain pound, yen, but later it's going to be more shifting towards Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, stuff like that, right? So this is what he's saying. He says the global economic crisis caused by the coronavirus panic is so severe that the world's most powerful central bank, the United States Federal Reserve, announced QE infinity. So if you're an American, that's a disaster for you guys. You'll be paying through the nose forever. The U.S. debt just passed $25 trillion, and this is not something that definitely can be sustained in the long term. So while the U.S. pledged to support stocks with infinite asset purchases, it is believed that the U.S. unemployment rate could nonetheless hit 30% for the first time since the Great Depression. The dollar's reserve status continues to be questioned, especially as policymakers end monetary supply. So how should we solve the problem as cryptocurrency? When a certain country's sovereign currency is no longer the benchmark of global trading and business, it will significantly reduce the risk of the country's monetary mechanism affecting the world economic system, thus enhancing crisis management. Therefore, a multinational or super sovereign currency could work on the basis of a new monetary system to resolve existing issues. And they're suggesting that cryptocurrency could be that because it has no allegiance to any kind of any government, has no allegiance to any particular country. It's a global currency. So we could have, this is what I see. I can see Bitcoin as a reserve currency and currencies like Dash as the liquid payment network that goes on top of that. So that's interesting. There's a lot of, I think a lot of this is kind of like hyperbole around the halving and trying to get as much hype as possible for the halving. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm going to be going through the comments later. Coinbase CEO Armstrong, this is Brian Armstrong of Coinbase. He won a patent for tech allowing email users to email Bitcoin. So if you're into Dash, you know that we have a Dash platform coming up, which is going to be having a lot of different apps. And definitely one of the apps that could be on Dash platform could definitely be this kind of email thing. But it's big news in the Bitcoin space because they don't have anything like that right now. So Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong has been granted a US patent for an invention that makes sending Bitcoin as easy as email, literally. The patent, granted on Tuesday and filed in March 2015, details a system for users to make cryptocurrency payments with email address linked to corresponding wallet addresses. The sender makes a request to send cryptocurrency to an email address, and the system automatically transmits the agreed amount, so long as they have the required balance, from the sender's wallet to the wallet corresponding to the receiver's email address. So the system takes 48 hours for the transaction to clear once the receiver has made the payment. So it's still quite slow, as you can see, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. It's more utility for cryptocurrency, but I think that in the long run, that currencies like Dash and Bitcoin Cash that are a little bit more nimble are going to be able to make more like better technology towards this. But you know, like I say, I'm for it because I think that it's good for cryptocurrency to move up, and people that don't have smartphones, they might be able to send cryptocurrency through their wallet, their computers at home. It's just an extra layer of functionality. So pretty happy with that. Cryptocurrency moving forward, that's always a good thing. So this was a big deal that just happened a couple of days ago, and I was kind of struck by it because I know it could be also something, you know, trying to pump the halvening, trying to pump people's bags and stuff like that. But I don't know. This seems to be kind of like something that's on the up and up and kind of legit. So it says Paul Tudor Jones, who's like a major investor, like a big time investor, says he buys Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. So I mean, I can see that, you know, the money printer go burr. And the Bitcoin doesn't suffer from that, so it would seem to be a perfect hedge. So it says he becomes one of the first big name investors to embrace crypto. And the macro investor sees Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, as it says in the title. So that's him, Paul Tudor Jones. And it goes on to say, macro investor Paul Tudor Jones is buying Bitcoin as a hedge against the inflation he sees coming from central bank money printing. Money printer go burr. Just print as much of the stuff as you want. Who cares? Who cares about the poor people that their money is devaluating? Who cares? Telling clients, it reminds him of the role gold played in the 1970s. So it's true. The best profit maximizing strategy is to own the fastest horse, Jones, the founder and chief executive officer of Tudor Investment Corp., said in a market outlook he entitled The Great Monetary Inflation. If I'm forced to forecast, my bet will be Bitcoin. So, you know, like you got Warren Buffett who won't touch Bitcoin, and now you got Paul Tudor Jones who's saying that Bitcoin is the answer. Bitcoin is going to be what he invested in. So that's pretty interesting. So now, guys, it's time to move forward with the Dash. There's a lot of things that happen in Dash this week, and you guys are going to find out everything that happened with Dash, and you're going to give my 2 cents into what happened and how I think that affects the Dash price moving forward. So, you know, a lot of people are into Bitcoin. It has the most network effect, most people involved, most people talking about it. But you got currencies like Dash that are they're levels below Bitcoin in market cap and levels below Bitcoin in public awareness. But we're just holding our own, and we're building. We're building a lot. We're doing a lot of technology in Dash. We're building smooth payments that you can see right now. This is actually happening right now. If you're just joining us from one of the live stream platforms like Twitch or DLive, this is a cryptocurrency movement that's happening, and we're gaining adoption every day. And you're going to see in this live stream as we come up how we're gaining adoption and what we're developing in the future. It's very exciting to be in Dash. We just need people like you, people like me. We need more people going and talking about Dash, because really Dash is awesome and it's amazing, and we need people talking more about it. So we're gonna start with the big news from Binance. If you're interested in like a passive income or like using your money to make more money, this is something that might be interested in. And if you have ADA also, you can use this. I'm not sure what cryptocurrencies you hold, but says fellow Binanceans, Binance Savings has added ADA and Dash to the list of supported assets on flexible deposits. It's a value-added service to Binance users who hold idle assets. You can deposit up to 130,000 Dash if you got that lying in your pocket. So it says, please note that Binance Savings will adjust interest rates and maximum individual limits on flexible savings based on market and risk factors. Amounts subscribed to Binance Savings products will not be able to receive their corresponding staking rewards. So if you guys have gone through this, if you know what's going on with this Binance kind of like staking and getting interest on your holdings, let me know what it's like in the comments. Let me know what kind of interest you're getting. It's definitely another added utility for Dash and another way for people to grow their Dash stack if they're going towards a masternode or trying to save for something. It's definitely another opportunity for you to do that, as well as trustless masternode shares, which you can also do through CrowdNode and stuff like that. So this is another thing that our ecosystem is growing. So this is Joel Valenzuela. He's a guy he lives in New Hampshire, and he's basically going without banking. Like he's unbanked. He has no cash. He just lives on cryptocurrency, like specifically Dash, because where he lives in New Hampshire, he's been featured on CNN. He's been featured on other news places like in the crypto business. He lives only on cryptocurrency. So here he was on an episode of Scott C Business. Apparently he's Canadian like me, as you can see from the backdrop there. I'm just going to play a short clip from the beginning, and he's going to explain a little bit why he's going through cryptocurrency. And this is really cool because he's living only on Dash, and he's like doing gift cards through BetRayFuel, or he's like buying stuff in person in New Hampshire. So it's really cool. Let's take a quick listen here.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're here with Joel Valenzuela. I hope I pronounced that right. He's a journalist. Awesome. He's a journalist and a content creator. He does a lot of similar stuff to what I do, but he has a very different approach where he's very focused on how you can spend crypto in your everyday life to pretty much cover everything. So I want to just dive right into that and get started. But I mean, first, if you want to give a little bit of background on yourself so people who aren't familiar with you might get a little bit of an idea of who you are.
Yeah, so hey everyone, I am Joel Valenzuela. I'm an independent crypto journalist primarily, and sort of my claim to fame is that first off, I don't think I've ever bought any crypto in my life. I've only ever received it for payment. And basically starting at the very end of 2015, I decided I was going to see if you could actually be your own bank, try to live all the rhetoric we keep hearing in the crypto world. And so I stopped taking any fiat compensation. And then a few months later, I decided to close my bank account. And then I've been living unbanked off of crypto since 2016. And during that space, I worked for Dash Decentralized Autonomous Organization for a few years. And I still live pretty much exclusively off of Dash.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So
what are your main methods of spending?
If you want to see more of that interview, it's going to be linked below also. And if you don't know what a decentralized autonomous organization is, it's a DAO for short. And that's what Dash has. Basically, we have a block reward similar to Bitcoin, but we take some of the block reward and divide it to different users because we know that there's more than one use case for the block reward. And in Bitcoin, they think it's only for mining. Miners are the only ones that are good for supporting an ecosystem. But in Dash, we don't believe that. We believe that full nodes are also very important. So we provide 45% of the block reward to our full nodes because they provide parts of the blockchain, like copies of the blockchain, and they always provide this 24/7 from data centers. So this is very important for the stability of the network and very important for instant transactions, which Dash has also, and chain locks, which prevents 51% attacks. So master nodes are very important. Full nodes are very important. And also other things that go on like promotion, development, marketing, all this stuff is important as well. Adoption efforts. And that's why we dedicate 10% of the block reward to that as well, to anything that people want to come up with. So if you, watching this on Twitter, watching this on Facebook Live, watching this on Twitch or D Live, if you're a developer or you're somebody who's very good with people, very good with talking with people, then this is something that you should look into. It's something that Dash offers, and we're the first ones that offered this. There's other cryptocurrencies that offer this, but Dash was always the first. We were the first to do master nodes. Master nodes are from Dash. We're the first to do the decentralized autonomous organization. We're the first to do a treasury system. So this is all to Dash. So Joel, he was part of an organization called Dash Force, and they did promotion for Dash, and in return for that, he received some money from the block reward. So he received some money from Dash, and there's no middleman. He received it straight from the blockchain. So now he's using it for going around and actually supporting his life without using any fiat currency, which is pretty amazing. So let's see what's the next order of business here. So speaking of the DAO, Huobi Exchange, he used to be Chinese, but now they're global, worldwide. They received some money from the Dash network. I think it was 1,000 Dash at one masternode's worth to do an airdrop to its people that use it in their exchange. So I'm not sure if this is part of that or if this is something they just decided to do on their own, but they've done it. They did $10,000 worth of Dash. So that's what they did. So if you downloaded a Huobi wallet from April 16th to April 23rd, and you created a Dash wallet, You got to share in superpower rewards of 10 people that were selected to win $1,000 of Dash. And just for playing, just for downloading a wallet, you got a small amount of Dash. I think it was like 0.02 or something worth of Dash. That's what I received in my wallet. So that was interesting. That was something that Huobi did. So you got Binance doing the staking, the savings, and you got Huobi doing the Dash, buying a Dash wallet and installing it. So, we're like I said, Dash is starting to get more adoption. It's slow, but it's sure, and I'm very, very proud to be a part of Dash. So smart contracts. We all know Ethereum has smart contracts. Ethereum Classic. We all know that these other blockchains have smart contracts. So people are wondering, well, with Dash platform, how come we can't have smart contracts? And what is Dash doing in regards to smart contracts? So since people keep asking this question, this was posted by Basil Pop. He's a moderator on our Dash Pay. So he was actually come up with this really nice information. And Andy Freer is very heavily involved in Dash platform on the Dash Discord, on the Dash platform Discord. So he says this: generally, the focus of smart features and evolution triggers are to support additional conditionality and logic within existing data contracts. So Dash has data contracts. I mean, it's developing data contracts. Evo is not designed to be a smart contract platform. It's designed one generation ahead of these platforms to be a user-based, mainstream, decentralized app platform that can employ smart functions as needed to support the primary functions. Signing up to Dash with a username and integrating Dash functions into existing and new mainstream applications without trusting a third party. There are already some of these smart features implemented in the DPNS and Dash Pay contracts. So right now, I'm just going to explain what that means. Right now, there's what's called EvoNet. It's like the testnet for evolution, and that's what's happening now. And the latest iteration of the Dash Pay wallet it actually has this the Dash Pay contracts and Dash Platform Name Service, which is the DPNS. But if you're working on the assumption that smart contracts are the future of blockchains that operate as world computers, then that concept is outmoded in evolution from the initial design. So the Discord admin README added, please look at the bounty ideas Andy Freer collected. I'm not going to click on that right now, but if you guys are interested in this, and it's definitely something that Dash has that no other platform is going to have, and it's very exciting, so if you want to check that out. Putting the focus on data has so much potential. So while I agree we need some data triggers, validators, smart code, and contracts, there's so much to explore and build with data contracts alone that will keep us busy. So Andy continues, yeah, there's actually a really easy way to explain this too. Basically, both Ethereum and Dash contracts have two aspects to them: computation, trustless and Turing complete code execution, and data, trustless entity representation, storage, and ownership. So there's a contrast between Ethereum and Dash, and we're going to see that here. Ethereum contracts are good at trustless code execution, but terrible at data. Dash contracts are great at data, but code execution is focused on conditionality logic to support third-party applications' data functionality, not non-financial computation, aka blockchain world computer, which Ethereum attempts to be. Although as features like WASM are added, devs can try this, but the economics and use cases are against them. And you might be wondering, why is that? Like, why would we focus more on data contracts than we would on smart contracts? So Andy goes on to say, the reason is because actually it's the data that's the most important part as we see it for mainstream use cases. Computation is super expensive and inefficient to run inside a blockchain network. And mainstream apps already have huge capacity, cheap computations in their own networks. It's the ability to trustlessly represent users by name and the entities' digital assets they want to create, share, act, and that is the focus on evolution. Where was I here? Oh yeah, and it's optimized to do that with virtually low cost and high efficiency ease of use for mainstream devs. So we don't use the term smart contracts in Dash because our contracts aren't focused on trustless compute, they're focused on trustless data. And which we think is far more useful, although there are already smart functions in the contracts, and these will be fleshed out as needed to support the data functions. The data contract is basically a specification of fungible, non-fungible assets arranged in a schema, with rules, types, relationships, constraints, like you would find in a database. The idea is users can own, monetize, transfer within third-party apps that integrate to a contract via decentralized HTTP API. So there's no central points of failure, and both the apps and end users can create, access, transfer their data by signing with a unique Dash username. This is basically impossible on Ethereum, or at least you'd have to jump through a ton of hoops, and it would be extremely uneconomical to implement. So we're going to take a little break there for station identification. You're watching Cash Alternative TV live right here on Cash Alternative TV. And people are joining me from YouTube today. They're joining me from Facebook Live, Twitter, Twitch, and D-Live. Twitch is another thing, but we're not going to get into that today. So this is Cash Alternative TV. It's a show about cryptocurrency with a focus on Dash. If that's something that you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and no, don't follow me on Facebook. Friend me on Facebook, and follow me on Twitch, D-Live, and Twitter. So I'm quite happy to have you guys along with me. And we're going to continue right now with the Dash news recap, because a lot of things happen in Dash. So if you're just joining us, you haven't missed everything. All the links that I'm going to discuss are going to be down below. So if you have any interest in what I'm talking about, you want to look into it further, the links are going to be down below. So with that, let's continue. Oh, we're going to get rid of that. No thanks. So like I was saying, Dash from the top, if you were just still here from the top of the show, I said that Dash partners with AnchorPay to grow the ecosystem in sub-Saharan Africa. So AnchorPay, if you're not familiar with it, it's a system of ATMs, and it's also a blockchain wallet, and it's also, let's see, yeah, they have point of sale systems also in sub-Saharan Africa and South Africa. So Dash, the top digital currency for payments and e-commerce, announced it has partnered with AnchorPay, a South African-based cryptocurrency payments and ATM company. With a growing network of ATMs, point-of-sale systems, online payments processing, and a user-friendly wallet that connects with their entire ecosystem, AnchorPay provides the Dash network with the full ecosystem ready to implement across sub-Saharan Africa. So that's an interesting one. I'm not going to go into it too much, because if you guys want to follow me, you want to subscribe to my channel, I'm going to be doing a show specifically about this. So like it's Cash Alternative TV on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you already know who it is, but on the other platforms, that's where I am. So there's going to be a video coming out about AnchorPay, and we're going to go into this a little bit more. So I don't want to bore my viewers. We're going to keep going. So Dash Next and Dash Thailand, they're doing some really good work. They're getting a lot of adoption over there in Thailand and other areas in Southeast Asia. So this one here is another partnership that Dash has entered into with Cash2VN. So this is basically like a remittance to Vietnam, and it handles, right now it looks like it handles Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and now Dash. So Dash has been added to Cash2VN. So it looks like a pretty interesting website. You can send money for just $2. So compare that to Western Union. If you're in the United States or you're in any other country, trying to send money for $2, like any amount of money for $2, is just unheard of. So this is another thing for another part of our ecosystem, you know, like, so we're growing into so many things. And this is what I said off the top, you know, Bitcoin has a lot of first mover advantage. They have a lot of network effect. But we're starting to cut into that slowly but surely. We're getting into more things. And the Dash user experience is second to none. When you use Dash and you use Bitcoin, you'll wonder why you ever use Bitcoin. So we have the product. We just need to get it out there. So this is another one that people are using. So filmmaker Matteo Perpinia, he says, Cash2VN allows my film crew, allows us to be paid in cryptocurrencies. There's no long waiting time, and it's trouble-free. Cash2VN is easy and simple, just as we need it to be. And Jonathan Brown says, since coming to Vietnam, I have found it very easy to convert crypto to VND, the Vietnamese dong, with Cash2VN. I've used it to buy a motorbike, pay my rent, and top up my bank account. So this is another thing that's good. If it's a middleman, because I think Dash in the future is going to be able to handle this through the decentralized API and the apps that it's going to make, and also with the smoothness of the Dash cryptocurrency as it is. But right now, this is what we're going to have to live with, and it's fine. And I'm fine with that. And congratulations to Dash Next and Dash Thailand for getting that integration. Very happy with that. So Mark Mason, he's another Dash community member. He's quite a busy guy. They call him the Hustler. He's been up to a lot of things. He's been doing interviews with people. I covered that on the last episode of CATV Live. And recently this newsroom just came out, which is basically the same thing as a Nike or an Apple. These are places that members of the press can go. So if you're watching this on any of the live streams and you're a member of the press, remember this email, remember this URL, newsroom.dash.org. So this is what it looks like. We're just going to go through it quickly. So it's digital money that's better than cash. So it says, welcome to the Dash Press Room. Here you will find the latest press releases, media materials, and product updates on Dash Digital Cash. So we've got a lot of things here. This is going to be in the description below. If we stop the live stream and you want to go and do something, you want to look at this stuff, this is all going to be down there. So the last one was Anchor Pay, the one that I just told you about, the Sub-Saharan Africa ATM and point of sale network that Dash is integrated on. But there's a lot of other things here, such as the Dash Trust Protectors election. Dash Chain Locks, which protects against 51% attacks, is now live on HitBTC. And this is one thing that Dash, our community, is striving for now, is to get our technology actually integrated to these third-party websites. Coinbase considers Dash, Coinbase is a major exchange, it considers Dash to be the most secure point-of-work crypto, a proof-of-work crypto, because it only requires, two confirmations to be fully accepted, where it requires 6 for BTC. So again, like I said, it's proven that Dash has the most powerful network, the most smooth network, the most secure and easy to use and fast transactions of any other proof of work crypto, and a decentralized crypto. So these are all things that you can find here. We got product updates and branding guidelines, press inquiries, media coverage, and Dash frequently asked questions. This is also going to be the subject of another episode, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over this. There's going to be another video coming out. And once again, please subscribe to my channel. It's on Cash Alternative TV on YouTube if you're watching this on any of the other platforms. All right. So this is something that I was telling you. We're starting to cut into this Bitcoin network effect that it has. We're starting to cut into that because look at this. This is a German point of sale, and it's a German shop. Basically, you can buy things with cryptocurrency and only cryptocurrency. And it uses Bitcoin, it uses Bitcoin Cash, it uses Bitcoin SV, it uses like a Monero, it uses all kinds of cryptocurrencies that aim to be payment networks. And look at this. So it says coin usage stats for ShopInBit. The first picture is basically saying this is what it was in January, and this is the ranking. So Bitcoin Cash was ahead in the amount of transactions, and Bitcoin Cash was ahead of the value of the transactions. So that was pretty cool. That's January. So watch what happens here. The second one there is saying the average transaction was in euros was Bitcoin Cash was ahead with 250, and Dash was the second one with 145. So this is all in January, okay? So that's no big deal. But now let's look at April. So now look who's in the lead. Dash with 45% of all transactions on ShopInBit. And why do you think that is? Because people try Dash and they see how it is. They see how it works, and it just works, you know? And people see that, and they know that Dash is serious about being a payment network. It's cheap and it works. And that's why people are starting to use it. So if people here that are watching, they're watching on YouTube, or they're watching on Twitter, they're watching on Facebook Live, they're watching on DLive or Twitch, you guys want to join the Dash community and you want to talk about this, I'm not trying to tell you to invest in Dash, but we want to try to build a community. So if you're interested in being part of something that's really cool, come and join us, because this is really cool. You see that Dash is growing, and this is empirical data. This is not just me telling you. This is not just me saying, oh, Dash is the best. These are people that are using Dash, and they're passing their judgment over time. So you can see that. And the next one is, this is another big one. I can't believe how much stuff is going on in Dash right now. So in Venezuela, we already covered Vietnam, we covered Thailand, we covered Germany. Now we're going to Venezuela. We're going on a world cruise here on this episode of CATV. So if you're not familiar with Spanish, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it. It's saying over 20,000 businesses are now accepting cryptomonedas, which are cryptocurrencies, in Venezuela. So it's an alliance between it's called point of sale Megasoft. Megasoft is a company in Venezuela that has a point of sale for 20,000 businesses in Venezuela. And as of, I'm not sure when it starts, but pretty soon they're going to be accepting cryptocurrency through their API. And Dash is one of them. So it says down here, where did I have it? It's one of the places where it says Dash. Okay, yeah. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, Binance Coin, and the stablecoin Tether and DAI will be among the cryptocurrencies that will be native to CryptoBuyer. CryptoBuyer is it's kind of like the facilitator of this. So you got Megasoft, which is the point of sale, and you got CryptoBuyer, which is kind of like the plugin for the point of sale, which will allow them to accept cryptocurrencies. But not only to accept cryptocurrencies, they'll also be able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies in those stores. So they can buy cryptocurrency and then use it, and then maybe take a portion of it home to use as a savings. Because we all know what's happening to the Venezuelan economy. We all know what's happening to the bolivar, even faster than the US dollar. They did money printer go burr for a long time, and it's not working. So you can see how this is going to get Dash and all cryptocurrencies basically, but Dash is going to benefit more because people are going to see how the user experience is for Dash. And once people see that, once people try it, download a Dash wallet from dash.org. I encourage you guys to do it too. Once they see how good this is, they're just going to be hooked on it. They say, Dash is the currency I want to use, and I want other people to use it too. So then you can do your live streams, or you can go on Twitter or wherever you want to promote it and tell people. That's all we need to do. We just need to tell people. It works. Okay, so Ryan Taylor, this is in English. So we've been working with Megasoft for a long, long time to make this happen. They are one of the largest point of sale providers in the country, including for some of the largest grocery chains. This news is huge. Thanks to Ernesto Contreras, he's the Latin head of business development, for making this happen. Ryan Taylor is the CEO of Dash Core Group. It's the largest contractor in the Dash DAO. So he's definitely a person who would be into the negotiations for this. So that's pretty interesting. So now I'm going to go quickly to the comments. I'm going to see if there's any comments. I'm going to go through them. That's the end of my presentation that I had prepared. So what have we got here? All right. Yeah, so we got James Doe in the YouTube chat. Let's see if we got any questions. So it says, stay home and make videos about Dash. Yeah, you should be doing that for sure, James. But no one uses the shop. Okay, greetings from the Flakes community. Son A, well, welcome to the chat. Very happy to have you here, brother or sister. I'm not going to make any judgments. I'm not sure. Yeah, so James Doe and Doug209, thanks for sticking around. I'm going to see if there's any comments on Facebook Live. I'm not even sure how to look for comments on Facebook Live. I don't see any comments there. So I'm going to Twitch. Doesn't look like I have anything going on there yet on Twitch. And DLive, nothing on DLive yet. So it looks like that's it for me. I'm happy you guys joined me. Once again, I'm Christopher Carruthers, also known as Tao of Satoshi, and you're watching Cash Alternative TV Live right here on CATV. And I'm happy to have you guys with me. Once again, if this is a show about cryptocurrency with a focus on Dash, which aims to be a digital cash for the world, an alternative to cash. And if that's something that you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and DLive.